So last week we finished the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam at the point when he had grown up to be a teenager and he has started thinking about what is happening around him, and he took a rational approach and rejected all the false gods his people were worshipping, the idols, the stars, sun, moon, everything, and he concluded that the only entity worthy of worship is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is infinite and who has created all these things which people are worshipping. So the creator should be worshipped, not the created. The infinite master and owner of us should be worshipped, not the finite things which people make with their own hands or which have no control over their own performance even. So after that, what did he do? Did he say, oh, all people are wrong, but that's none of my business, I'm not going to do anything? No. He started asking people to think, to reflect, to have rational approach, because people must believe according to the rational approach, and the faith must make sense to people. So he encouraged people to do that. He even talked to his dad very respectfully. He was very respectful and dutiful to his dad. He will say, "Dear dad, do you see what you are doing? You make the idols with your own hands, and you polish them, you put fragrance on them, and you start worshipping them while they cannot do anything. They can't hear, they cannot move, they cannot defend themselves, nothing can happen. So how can they do anything for you when they cannot do anything for themselves either?" So in the same manner, he talked to the community and invited them to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the infinite and one and unique creator, who should only be worshipped and nobody else. Obviously, neither his father was happy with him, nor his society, but that didn't deter him from giving the right message. In a nice manner, in respectful manner, he continued inviting people that, look, think what you are doing. It doesn't make sense. The only thing makes sense is you come to Allah and submit to Him. And so people will argue with him, and he will. One thing we note about Ibrahim alayhi salam, that he was a master of making his point in such a manner that people will not be able to come back or argue about it. So for example, when he saw that people are not understanding simple, logical, rational matter, that the lifeless idols are not good for anything, they should not be worshipped, people should not be asking them for help, people should not be expecting them that they will be their intercessors or helpers or in any manner. But people were not understanding, so he come up with a scheme. Once they had a festival when everybody was going, and they left the temple, and so there was nobody in the temple, so he took that opportunity and he broke all the idols except the biggest idol, and he put the hammer on the shoulder of that biggest idol. So, yes. No, Quran has not mentioned the names of the idols. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the names of the idols which the people of Nuh were worshipping, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not tell us about the names of the idol which people of Ibrahim were worshipping. So we cannot say what were the names. Okay? So what happened is that next day people came to the temple, and when they saw the disaster, they were shocked. So immediately said, what can happen? Who could have done it? And they said, oh, that young man Ibrahim has talking bad about these idols, so it must be him. So they brought him, and he says, oh, Ibrahim, what did you do here? He says, ask the big idol. Because he has the hammer. So he must have done something. And they immediately says, oh, he cannot do anything. And that was what Ibrahim wanted him to say. The reason he made this statement is that people will think that, oh, those idols which were broken, they couldn't defend them. They couldn't do anything. And the big idol is also useless. He could not have done anything. So why are you worshipping them? So that's the point he wanted to make. They realize the point. But what happens is, once people have made a decision that they are not going to believe in something or listen to somebody, doesn't matter how logical arguments you give, doesn't matter what kind of evidence you provide, doesn't matter how evident the truth is, people will still find some way of not accepting it and going against it. And that's what happened. Then although right away they could not argue with Ibrahim anymore, he had made it very clear that, look, these idols are good for nothing. So why you are worshipping them? And they realized it. But still, they were upset with him. They didn't want to leave those idols. People make their own decisions because of many, many factors they may have. Or some people may say, oh, this is our tradition. This is our culture. This is our parents were doing. This is our forefathers were doing. Oh, so do you think they were wrong? Oh, no. We want to keep our culture. We want to protect our traditions. People have different excuses not to accept the truth, even when it is very clear and evident to them. So that's what happened. That Ibrahim alayhi salam had made such a beautiful case that they could not answer to it, and they saw the truth in it, but they still did not believe. Rather, what happens in that situation, the person who is giving the true message, they turn enemies to that person, and they try to persecute and kill him or banish him or those kind of things. Now, somebody may say that Ibrahim had broken the idols, so why didn't he say, yes, I did it, these people didn't do anything? Why did he say the biggest idol did it? Because, and some people say that this is a lie, this is false. But when you say something which is evidently wrong, then nobody will ever believe it. Then it's not counted as a lie, because you are making the persons reflect upon it and understand the truth. So if it will be such thing, you make a comment which is false, but somebody may believe it, then you can say that, okay, this is a lie. But when even an idiot will not believe it, even an imbecile will not believe it, then this is not counted as lie. This is just that you have presented something so people can immediately think about it. So that's what he did. So anyway, it didn't work. So they took his case to the king, and the king asked him that, okay, what is the God you are talking about? So, because Allah SWT has created everything, Allah has created the life, Allah has given us life, and Allah takes away the life. So Ibrahim alayhi salam told him that my Lord is the one who gives life and takes away life and gives death. He said, oh, I can do that. It was not a good answer, because what Ibrahim meant was very clear, that Allah created life. He creates the life. Nobody else can create life. But he took the example that, oh, if I am king and I can forgive a person who is to be hanged or killed, and I can kill a person who is innocent. So he said, oh, I give life and I give death. Ibrahim alayhi salam could have argued with him that what you are saying is nonsense. This doesn't make sense. You are misinterpreting the thing. But that would have been, I said, argument. It would have gotten into argument. So instead, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, okay, don't worry. My Lord has made the system such that sun rises from east. If you are God, change the system so the sun rises from the west. And now he has no answer. So these two examples, the way he used the breaking of idols to make people think and understand the truth, and the way he responded to the king, shows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given a special skill to Ibrahim alayhi salam, that instead of getting into arguments and giving this evidence, he was able to go immediately to and state the fact in such a way that other person will be totally dumbfounded and won't know what to say in response. So that's one hikmah we learn from Ibrahim alayhi salam, that this is how he used to talk to people. But anyway, even then, the truth was evident to the people in the temple, and the truth was evident to the king and the courtiers in the court when he mentioned that, okay, my Lord brings the sun from east, you bring it from the west. But still, they didn't want to believe it. They became his enemy, and he ordered that he should be thrown into fire. So they piled a lot of wood and lot of fuel and big pile of fire, and they threw Ibrahim into that. And they were thinking that he will be burned to ashes and the matter will be over. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always with his messengers. He always protects them. So as soon as they threw him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the fire to be cool and comfortable. Sometimes when it becomes cool, it may be so cold that we cannot go outside. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it cool and comfortable. So not hot, not cold, comfortable for Ibrahim alayhi salam. So now you may think that, oh, how can it be? Anybody who touches fire or is thrown in the fire will be burning. But who gave the capability to fire to burn? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the physical laws of this world such that fire burns. Water extinguishes fire. He made those laws. He made laws of nature. He pre-programmed all these things the way he wanted. Now, if he made it that way, he's the master. He can change it whenever he wants to show the miracle. Because if he, as a king, as a lord, as a master, he made for everything a certain physical laws. He can override any time. He can say, okay, in this case, the law doesn't apply. The fire usually burns, but this case, he will not burn my messenger. So now, because this is a very special miracle, just like miracles of Isa alayhi salam, just like miracles of Musa alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows miracles specially through his messengers, so people know that Allah's power is with them. Allah is supporting them, and people should listen to them. Some people nowadays, even they call themselves Muslims, but they doubt these kind of miracles. So the reason I'm making this point, emphasizing that we should never doubt what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us. By the way, this incident of Ibrahim being thrown in the fire is not mentioned in any religious book other than Holy Quran. It's not even mentioned in the Bible anywhere. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to bring this hidden truth, so people know that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports his messengers, how he helps his messengers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specially mentioned this incident. In the Bible, when they write something, they don't have objectives. They are just documenting history, whatever they know. So that's why there are many, many errors and wrong things in the Bible. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us facts which prove something, which guide us. So in this case, Allah mentioned this miracle. So we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has special ways to help his messengers through miracles. So we should never have those kind of doubts, because those people who don't believe in miracles and hadith and those kind of people, they usually say no, this fire is not meant by actual fire, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they were not happy with him, so the fire means the fire of their hate, the fire of their dislike. He was just ostracized, he was just totally, everybody was hating him. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it very, very clear in Holy Quran that this was actual fire, and this was Allah's miracle, that Allah saved him from that actual fire. There is no way from any Arabic grammar point of view, the context point of view, or any other view, that it can be misinterpreted in that manner as the deniers of a miracle want to interpret it. This was a truth, this was a fact, this is what happened, and we should remember that. So now, obviously, it was impossible for Ibrahim to live in that city, and his father has also told him that, get lost, I don't want to even see you. He was very respectful to his father. Even at that time, he says, Daddy, I will still make dua for you to forgive you, because you are my dad and I love you. But his dad told him that, no, I don't even want to see you. You get lost, leave my house and leave everything. So, and he kept praying. Ibrahim alayhi salam kept making dua for his father until Allah stopped him. That no, a Muslim should not make dua of forgiveness for any mushriks or any non-Muslims who don't believe in Islam. Muslims should not make such a dua. So when Allah told him that way, then he stopped. So anyway, he left his town. He had nowhere to go, but trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he was working in his way, he and the people who had believed. Now you can see that in society, 100% of the people are not blind, that they don't want to understand anything. There are always some people, when you present the guidance and truth to them, they accept it. So there were some people who had accepted him, although there were few. In the same manner, when people will see him walking safe and sound out of all this huge fire, there will be some people who will understand, oh, this was a miracle, and they will become Muslims. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, his wife, Lut alayhi salam, who also believed in him, and other believers who had believed in him, they migrated from their place and they came towards Palestine and those areas. So although Bible mentions only Ibrahim and his wife Sarah and Lut coming out of there, but again we cannot rely on the Bible, because they only wanted to describe their own forefathers in a racist manner. So they didn't give that whole story, but Quran mentions Ibrahim walladhina amanu ma'ahu, that Ibrahim and those people who believed with him. So it means there were people who believed with Ibrahim alayhi salam. So evidence in the Holy Quran is there that there were other people who believed in him. So now Ibrahim alayhi salam had only one mission: to spread the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this earth, to preach Tawheed. So he settled his son Ishaq in Palestine, his son Ismail in Mecca, his Lut alayhi salam in Dead Sea, Jordan area. And so in a manner, he started a big Islamic movement, so that wherever you are, all those people should be given the message of Islam and called towards Islam. He himself settled with his son Ismail in Mecca, but he used to go all places to check that how the mission is going, how Ishaq alayhi salam is giving the message, how Ismail alayhi salam is giving the message, how Lut alayhi salam is working. So he was supervising all the Islamic movement, all Islamic work. Now, people usually think that Ibrahim alayhi salam was stationed in Jerusalem or in that area, Palestine area. But that's not true, because Holy Quran clearly tells us that Ibrahim alayhi salam was in Mecca. That's why it was called Maqam Ibrahim, the place of residence of Ibrahim alayhi salam. That's why he, with his son Ismail, he constructed Holy Kaaba there. So Quran is clear that Ibrahim alayhi salam was main stay was in Mecca with Ismail alayhi salam, but he used to go to Palestine as well to his other wife and his son, and he used to go other places to give the message of Islam. So we'll stop here, and then we'll go to the Kahoot. If there are any questions before we go to Kahoot, you can ask. So if you want to ask questions, you can take this mic. If no questions, then we'll go to Kahoot. Yes?
So, like, when Prophet Ismail and Hajar were, like, lost in the desert,
Mm-hmm.
like, what if an angel came and the put struck the ground and water came? Why did Allah didn't, like, brought food to them, just water?
Yeah, so they already had food, so they didn't need, so there was no water, so Allah took care of them and provided the water. And this we'll be discussing this part of the story, inshallah, next week. Okay, good question, mashallah. Okay. What's that? Yeah, this is false, yeah. No, it's true. They did not. Oh.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you to everyone joining us in person and online. It's great to have you here. We hope you're paying attention, because as always we have a Kahoot competition and we play for prizes as always. So inshallah you can look at the game pin on the screen and join as fast as you can so we can begin.
Do the sister want to come up here? If you want to come up, then we'll request the brothers to move towards the right. So.
You can sit down there. Okay, inshallah, we're going to begin shortly. Hopefully everyone can join. Okay, bismillah. We will begin now, inshallah. 1 second, you need. That's good. Okay, let's begin, inshallah. It's okay. You can still join. Don't worry. The code will be on the bottom right side of the screen, so you can still join. You still have 3 seconds, inshallah. So first question. Bismillah. So it's a multi-select question. So what did the young man Ibrahim do once he realized that his community is wrong and that Allah is the only true God? This is a bit of a long question, so take your time. You have extra time.
Okay. So there were two right answers. So we were expecting everyone will be selecting both. But there are two persons who made it wrong. They said he kept his ideas to himself. No, Ibrahim alayhi salam did not keep it to himself. He actively started convincing people that they should leave the shirk, they should leave the idols, they should leave worshipping the sun, moon and stars and heavenly bodies. Rather, they should come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So after he realized what the truth is, he will not sit down, but he will continue wholeheartedly, dedicatedly spreading the message of Islam and dedicating his life to it. So that's one we should also be doing, like Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Okay, we'll be moving on, so hopefully everyone's ready. Okay, so next question. So what was the name of Ibrahim's father? Inshallah, this is an easy question.
Okay. Quran has told us in Surah Al-An'am very clearly that the name of the father of Ibrahim alayhi salam was Azar. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لِأَبِيهِ آزَرَ أَتَتَّخِذُ أَصْنَامًا آلِهَةً. That when Ibrahim told his father Azar that are you worshipping idols instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Inni araka wa qawmaka fi dalalim mubin. I see you and your people totally misguided in this respect. So Quran has very clearly told us that the name of the father of Ibrahim alayhi salam was Azar. Now the Bible says the name of the father of Ibrahim alayhi salam was Terah, T-E-R-A-H. And because some people start taking information from the Bible, so they start thinking, if the Bible says this, so maybe then they explain that, maybe Azar was his uncle, and because uncle is like father, the Quran said, no, Quran has made it very clear. Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use the word Abihi when if he was not his father, it was his uncle? So we should not pay attention to what Bible says. Unfortunately, I was listening to a scholar in Pakistan a few weeks ago talking about it, and he was trying to prove that his father was Terah and Azar was his uncle. Totally baseless. Quran is very clear, and we should listen to the Quran, not to any other stories or not to any other book. So the name of the father of Ibrahim alayhi salam is Azar.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, inshallah, everyone's ready to move on. Bismillah. Brother Jad is doing very well. Next question is a multi-select question, so more than one right answer, so try to select them all. So how did he try to convince his dad of Tawheed? How did Ibrahim alayhi salam try to convince his dad Azar of Tawheed?
So keep in mind there are more than one correct answers. Excellent. Good job. Let's go further.
Alhamdulillah. Great job, mashallah. We're going to continue. Okay. So next question is, again, it's another multi-select question, so try to select all the right answers. So what are some of examples of Ibrahim making people dumbfounded without arguing with them? This is a good question, so take your time, inshallah.
MashaAllah, again, good job. So both answers are correct. Let's move further.
Okay, Bismillah. Azan Reeb, very well. 4 answer streaks, so keep it up, mashallah. So the next question is, when Ibrahim alayhi salam said the biggest idol must have destroyed the others, was it a lie? Why or why not?
Beautiful. Excellent.
It seems like everyone is paying a lot of attention today, mashallah. Or they want the gift. Everyone's ready for the gift. So 3 players on 3 answer streaks, mashallah, so please keep that up. So the next question is, why people did not believe although Ibrahim's call made sense and they had no answer to his logic and facts?
Okay, so there is some people who said that they were not convinced. See, you see that when Ibrahim alayhi salam told them that this is the big idol must have done it, they were convinced. Inside, they were convinced, they knew what the truth is, that these idols cannot do anything. They can't even defend themselves. They don't eat, they don't do anything. But so, although they were convinced inside, they still believed, refused to believe because of other reasons. They didn't want to believe. So that's why they were not convinced is not the right answer. In the same manner, people people, once again, the logic was appealing. They understood the logic, both king and the population there. But once again, they didn't want to believe. For example, just imagine if the king would have become Muslim, what would happen? He would be losing all his status and everything like that. So people have many other ulterior motives which keep them from believing. Although the logic and message is everything clear, and person has done, who's presenting the truth, has done a good job in presenting the truth.
Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we're going to move on. So everyone get ready. Okay, so the true or false question. So the king did not throw him in a big pile of fire. Rather, he was ostracized and subjected to hate and cursed. Is this statement true or false?
All correct, mashallah. Good. Let's go further.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so mashallah, we have player CC has an answer streak of 6. Amazing. Okay, so next question is, how can it be that someone is thrown into the flaming fire, but the fire does not burn?
Okay, we got 16 right. So one person agrees with the Bible, but let's see that, let's understand it, that Bible does not have useful information. They have all the useless information, but they don't have the right information. Allah SWT has told us very clearly, and we believe in what Allah has told us because His word is true. He has the knowledge. People don't have the knowledge. Okay?
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Okay, next question. Everyone ready? So, was it only his wife and Lut who believed in him? Okay, so two answers.
Once again, very good. MashaAllah, you are doing superb job today. All right answers.
Okay, inshallah, we are reaching the last few questions, so try to get your points as much as you can now. So the next question is, it's a multi-select question, so try to select all the right answers. So does the Quran mention that Ibrahim went to Egypt and told his wife to tell the king that she was actually Ibrahim's sister? So take your time, you have some extra seconds.
Okay, you can see that those two correct answers. Some people are saying that it's a true story, while it's not. It's once again, it is a false story mentioned in the Bible, and people have taken it from there. Quran does not mention it at all. If there was any truth to it, Quran would have mentioned it. But because Quran doesn't mention, we know that it's not true. And also you can imagine a person like Ibrahim alayhi salam, who is Allah's friend and who is always doing exactly what Allah wants. Why would he tell a lie that, she's my sister, not my wife? Or ask his wife to tell that, okay, I am his sister, not his wife. So this is not true, and we don't even know whether he went to Egypt or not because Quran has not mentioned it at all. So we should not, this is again another example that we should not take any story from the Bible unless there is something about it in the Holy Quran. So that's what it is, and they are saying, yes, but I don't know where. No, it is not mentioned at all in the Holy Quran, so I think that clarifies the point. Okay?
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Last two questions, inshallah. MashaAllah, Brother Jad, 10 correct answers in a row. Amazing. So, last two questions. So, why did he settle one son in Palestine, the other in Mecca, and Lut in the Dead Sea area?
Okay. MashaAllah, 14 people got it right. And the reason I put the other answer to avoid rivalry among the three of them, because the way Bible mentions this story, they think that there was a fight between Sarah and Hajra, and they were fighting about Ishaq and Ismail alayhi salam. Once again, these are all biblical lies, and we should not listen to them, and we should not pay attention to them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given Ibrahim alayhi salam a mission, so he had dedicated his life and his son's lives and his nephew Lut alayhi salam's life to the Islamic mission. So he put them in different places, so all those places are covered and people are invited to Islam.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Last question. We're moving on to the last question. So it is a true or false question. Ibrahim himself settled in Mecca but was traveling through the three stations to supervise the Islamic work. Is this statement true or false?
MashaAllah, 15 people got it right, and I think it's self-explanatory. The person who said it's false, I think by now he will know that that was the mission which Ibrahim alayhi salam was dedicated to, so that's the way it is. Okay? Any questions before we close? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Bismillah. Let's see the winning ceremony, inshallah. So our third winner in third place, 11 out of 12 questions correct, is brother or sister CC. MashaAllah, congratulations. FH, player FH, MashaAllah, congratulations. And MashaAllah, I think we know who this one is. Brother Jad, I'm guessing. MashaAllah, 12 out of 12.
Who's Brother Jad?
And those two trollmakers.
Okay, MashaAllah, excellent.
Jazakallah khair, brothers. Congratulations.
So, inshallah, next Friday, we'll conclude Ibrahim's story, and that will be where we will be coming from once they settled in Palestine and Mecca, how it happened, how they came to Mecca, the Zamzam, the sacrifice, all those things will be discussed inshallah next week, and that will conclude Ibrahim alayhi salam's story. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, let us quickly also invite the three winners to come up and grab your prize, inshallah. Player FH, player Jad, and player CC, inshallah. Feel free to come and get your prize. Jazakallah khair, and we'll see you all next week. Assalamu alaikum, brother.